Oh, I've received a text from Miss Christine. Why does she feel it's necessary to talk? I mean, she left me for another man without a thought of how I might feel. I must ask her how she could just leave like that. She asked if I believe she left without a feeling for me. Do I really believe that she could be that heartless? Well, I guess I'll have to respond. Well, didn't you? Does my memory fail me? If it really wasn't that way, then why did she not write it all? I need to know more. She feels she could do nothing else. She had to break up with me. She felt it was her duty to put an end to the feelings I had for her. Well, I must see how she feels. So that was it. Well, I'll tell her. When I lost you, it was as if all the solid ground went from underneath my feet. Look at me now. I'm half of a drowned man hanging onto a bit of wreckage. She says she thinks that help may be near. It was only today that she learned it was my place she was going to take at the bank. Huh. But now that she knows this, will she step aside? She says no, because it would not benefit me at all. And she says plus, she is like a shipwrecked woman cleaning some wreckage herself. No one for her, no one to care for. Well, it was her own choice to leave. She says she feels she has no choice and she's already explained herself. Well, what now? What brought you to town? Did you even give me a thought? Oh, Miss Christine could not endure life without her work. Up until this point, her life had always been about work. It was her greatest and only pleasure. And now that she is quite alone in the world, her husband has passed away and her children have all grown up, her life is dreadfully empty. She no longer feels pleasure in work, and she wants me to give her something to work for. I don't trust her at all. It is nothing but a woman's sense of generosity that prompts her to make such an offer. She says she wants to be a mother to someone, and she feels my children need a mother, so we should be together. Thank you, Christine. Now I shall have a wonderful new life. She says she must go now. Well, what about the letter? The letter in the Helmer's mailbox. She tells me just to leave it, that Mr. Helmer ought to read it anyway. All right, Christine. Well, I will see you in the future.
Good evening. Good evening, Christine.
Well, I'll be in my office.
So what did that man say?
Nora, you must tell your husband about all the lives you've been living.
Shit.
You have nothing to be afraid of as far as Mr. Kunstad is concerned, but you must tell him.
I won't.
Then the letter will.
All right, Christine, I know what I must do.
Done texting.
Yes, are you tired this evening?
No, not the least bit. How about you, dude?
Yes, I'm very tired. I would like to take a nap.
Darn, I thought we could watch some TV and cuddle since we're alone.
Don't look at me.
Why? I can't look at my dearest treasure.
Shut up, Torvald.
Am I not your husband?
Fuck off.
What the hell? Who opened this letter without my consent? Helen, have you seen someone tampering with the mailbox?
Must have been the children, honey.
Nora, do you know what's in this letter?
Yes, I do. Now let me be.
Where do you think you're going?
You can't save me.
How horrible. How can this be true?
Yes, but I've loved you more than anything else in the world.
No silly excuses, you miserable creature. What have you done?
Yes, now I'm beginning to thoroughly understand what I've done.
What a horrible awakening. All these 8 years, she who was my pride and joy, a hypocrite, a liar. Worse, a criminal. I thought to suspected something of that sort would have happened.
Be silent.
All your father's moral principle have come out of you. No religion, no morality, no sense of duty. How am I punished for having winked at what he did? I did it for your sake, and this is how you repay me?
Yes, that's just it.
Now you have destroyed all my happiness. It is horrible to think of. I'm in the power of an unscrupulous man. He can do whatever he likes with me, ask me anything he wants of me, give me any order he pleases, and I dare not refuse him. And I must sink to such a miserable death because of a thoughtless woman.
When I'm out of the way, you'll be free.
No fine speeches, please. Your father had plenty of those ready, too. What good it would be if you're out of my way, as you say? Not the slightest. He can make the affair known everywhere. And if I'm falsely suspected of being a party with your criminal action, very likely people will think I was behind it all, that I'm the one who prompted you in the first place. And I have to thank you for all of this? You, who I cherished during the whole life of our marriage? Do you understand what it is you've done for me?
Yes.
Oh, we're both saved. Look, he sends you your bond back. He says he regrets and repents. That a happy change in his life. Oh, never mind what he says. We are saved, Nora. No one can do anything for you. First, I must destroy these hateful things. Let me look at this letter. No, I don't think I'll look at it at all. No, the whole thing shall be nothing but a bad dream to me. There, now it's gone for good.
I've fought a hard fight these days.
And suffered agonies and see no way out. No, we won't call any of these horrors to mind. We can only shout with joy and keep saying, it's all over, it's all over. Listen to me, Nora. You don't seem to realize that it's all over. What is this? Such a cold, set face you have. My poor little Nora. I quite understand if you feel that way, but if you believe me, if I haven't forgiven you. That's true, Nora. I swear. I've forgiven you on everything. I know what you've done, out of love.
That is true.
You have loved me as a wife ought to love her husband. But do you suppose you are less to me, dear? You are any less to me, dear, because you don't understand how to act on your own responsibility. No, only lean on me. I will advise you and direct you. You must not think too hard on things I said in my moment of consideration. I have forgiven you, Nora. I swear I've forgiven you.
Thank you for your forgiveness.
Yes, dude, try and calm yourself. We'll get through this. How warm and cozy our home is, Nora. Here is shelter for you. I will bring peace to your poor beating heart. It will come, little by little, Nora. Believe me, tomorrow morning you'll look upon it quite differently. Soon everything will be just as it was before. You have no idea what a true man's heart is like. There is something so indescribably sweet and satisfying to a man in the knowledge that he is forgiving his wife.
That is it. You never understand me. I've been greatly wronged, Torvald. First by you and then my papa.
What? Who has loved you better than anyone else in this world?
You have never loved me.
Nora, what do I hear you saying?
It is perfectly true. When I was at home with Papa, I had to agree with everything. And when I came to live with you...
What?
I mean that I was simply transferred from Papa's hands into yours. When I look back on it, it seems to me as if I had been living here like a poor woman. You and Papa have committed a great sin against me. It is your fault that I have made nothing of my life.
How unreasonable and how ungrateful of you. Nora, have you not been happy here?
No, our home has been nothing but a playroom. I thought it was great fun when you played with me, just as they thought it was great fun when I played with them. That is what our marriage has been, Torvald.
There is something true in what you say, but for the future it shall be different. Playtime shall be over, and lesson time shall begin.
Whose lessons, mine or the children's?
Both you and the children.
Torvald, you are not the man to educate me into being a proper wife for you.
And you can say that.
Indeed, you were perfectly right. There is something I must do first. Educate myself. And that is why I'm going to leave you now.
What did you say?
I'm going to leave you for now. I am sure Christine will take me in for the night.
You're out of your mind. I won't allow it. I forbid you.
No use forbidding me anything any longer.
What sort of madness is this?
Tomorrow I shall go home.
You can't just abandon your home. What will people say?
I cannot consider that at all.
That's shocking. This is how you would neglect your most sacred duties?
What do you consider my most sacred duties?
Your husband and your children.
I have other duties just as sacred.
What duties could those be?
Duties to myself.
Before all else, you are a wife and a mother.
I don't believe that any longer. I believe that before all else, I am a reasonable human being.
Do you not understand your place in our home? Have you no reliable guide in such matters? Have you no religion?
I am afraid. I do not exactly know what religion is.
What are you saying?
I only know what the clergyman told me when I went to be confirmed. He told us what religion was.
This is unheard of in a girl of your age, but if religion cannot lead you aright, let me try and awaken your consensus. I suppose you have some moral sense.
I assure you, Torvald, that is not an easy question. I really don't know. I only know that you and I look at it in quite a different light. I am also learning that the law is quite different than I thought. According to the law, a woman has no right to spare her old dying father or to save her husband's life. I can't believe that.
You talk like a child. You don't even understand the condition of the world you live in.
No, I don't, but now I'm going to try.
Nora, you're delirious.
I've never felt my mind be as clear as it is now.
And is it with a clear and certain mind that you forsake your husband and your child?
Yes, it is.
Then there is only one possible explanation.
What is that?
You do not love me anymore.
It's not easy because you have always been so kind to me, but I cannot help it. I do not love you anymore.
Is that a clear and certain conviction, too?
Yes, absolutely clear and certain. That is the reason why I will no longer stay here.
And can you tell me what I've done to forfeit your love?
I have waited so patiently for 8 years. I knew very well that wonderful things don't happen every day. Then this horrible misfortune came upon me. I felt quite certain that the wonderful thing was finally going to happen. When Krogstad's letter was lying out there, never for a moment did I imagine that you would consent to accept this man's conditions. I was so absolutely certain that you would say to him, publish the thing to the whole world.
Yes, what then? I would have to expose my wife to shame and disgrace.
When that was done, I was so absolutely certain you would say I am the guilty one.
Nora!
You mean that I would never have accepted such a sacrifice on your part? No, of course not. But what would my assurances have been worth? That was a wonderful thing which I hoped and feared for, and it was to prevent that I wanted to kill myself.
I would gladly work night and day for you, Nora. But no man would sacrifice his honor for the one he loves.
It is a thing hundreds of thousands of women have done.
Oh, you think and talk like a heedless child.
Maybe, but you neither think nor talk like the man I could spend my life with. As soon as the fear was gone, it was as if nothing had happened at all. Same as before, I was your little doll that you could treat with gentle care because it was so brittle and fragile. Torvald, it was then it dawned upon me that for 8 years I had been living here with a strange man and had borne him 3 children. Oh, I can't bear to think of it. I could tear myself into little bits.
I see. An abyss has opened between us. There's no denying it. But Nora, would it be possible to fill it up?
I'm no wife for you as I am now.
I have it in me to become a different man.
Perhaps, if your doll is taken away from you.
No, Nora. I cannot understand that idea.
That makes it all the more certain that it must be done.
Nora, not now. Wait until tomorrow.
I cannot spend the night in a strange man's room.
But can't we live here like brothers and sisters?
You know very well that will not last long. Goodbye, Torvald. I won't see the little ones. I know they are in better hands than mine.
But someday, Nora, someday.
How can I tell? I have no idea what is going to become of me.
But you are my wife, whatever becomes of you.
Listen, Torvald, I've heard that when a wife deserts her husband's house, as I am doing now, he's legally freed from all obligations towards her. You are not to feel yourself bound in the slightest way any more than I shall. There must be perfect freedom on both sides. Now it is all over. Here are the keys to the house. The maids know everything in the house better than I do. Tomorrow, Christine will come here and pack up my belongings.
All over. Nora, shall you never think of me again?
I know I shall think of you, the children, and this house.
May I write to you, Nora?
No, never. You must not do that.
Let me help you if you are in want.
No, I can receive nothing from a stranger.
Nora, can I never be anything more than a stranger to you?
Torvald, the most wonderful thing of all would have to happen.
What could that be?
That our life together would be a real wedlock. Goodbye.
Nora! She is gone. What could the most wonderful thing of all be?